What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be reacting to Ty's squad for if the 250k tournament was today. So basically his best team in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM lads. So obviously go subscribe to Ty if you haven't already. He's only 300 subscribers off 75k. Hopefully he can get that in the next day or two. That would be great. Again, getting him to close to get him as close as possible to 80k going into the new year. And also, lads, if you guys are not yet subscribed, subscribe to the second channel, B-Ball Daily. We are uploading pretty much every day at this stage. I reckon probably by the time this video is out, I may have uploaded another video. It all depends on if there's anything going on in the old NBA. So yeah, we had a video just talking about Ben Simmons, talking quite a lot about the Olympics over the last few days. And yeah, I just talk about basketball. Obviously, we will never, ever hit the dizzying heights of the 5 million views, the daily Decembers. But I also do not have 6 hours a day to spend on videos on this one specific channel, which was what I was doing during the old daily December grinds. But yeah, so anyway, that is pretty much it. Now, let's get on to the video from Ty.
Today we are going to be building my $250,000 squad if the tournament was today. So if the tournament was today, what is the squad?
Okay, so for me, I would go, my point guards would be Hito and Cade Cunningham, but it's him, so he's probably going to put Simmons and Cade. And I'm fine with Simmons and Cade. Simmons versus Hito is unbelievably close. I prefer Hito, but if you want to say Simmons is better, I'm not going to argue.
I would go out there with. Now, before we dive into it any further, this squad is mainly for current gen, I would say, but we're going to talk about, especially with the backup small forward, what that would look like if we were on next
almost
gen,
certainly current gen.
250
was on current, so that's fair.
Things. Now, before we dive any deeper into this video today, I do want to say that this is probably going to be the last 250k squad builder that we do indeed do. And when I say 250k, it's not 250k empty. It's if the 250,000 my team tournament was today.
Obviously, it's going to be the last one. It's the 7th of freaking August. Of course, there's no new cards.
This is the squad that I would be using. It's probably going to be the last one, considering obviously content is dying down towards the end of the year. Before we dive any deeper, if you are new to my channel,
down, it's done. Finito.
Please consider smashing that subscribe button. We're on the road to 80,000 subscribers. So we're going to start off with the point guard position. And I mean, this one is one of the most obvious selections to me. And point guard invincible Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he's better than Hito.
Here's the thing for Ben Simmons that I'm a big fan of is he's 6'10". And whether you like offense, whether you like defense, whether you like three hunting, whether you like rim running, he is the best all-around point guard in the game. Now, are there point guards that some people might prefer?
I agree.
Absolutely, to Ben Simmons. But if you're just looking for an all-around point guard,
I agree. I'll give you that.
Can play offense, can really do a little bit of everything. Ben Simmons can give you that. Obviously, for me, he's my favorite point guard just because of the contact dunk animations he gets. So for most people, he's probably the best point guard in the game just because like the contact animations he gets. But his release is so underrated. If you're
it's so easy to green.
Release that a lot
so
of
easy to
green with. It's Ben Simmons, and when you're playing, you know, for that
super
much
amount
of money,
green.
like $250,000, you need to have players you are super comfortable with, and Ben Simmons is at the forefront of that. Now, the shooting guard, we're gonna go with out of position Andre.
Okay.
Got the shooting guard position now.
Okay, I like that. I do like a base 98 defensive player at the 2. I like that one. I'm good. I'm cool with that, especially on current gen. I probably would run AK as well, to be completely honest. I like base 3 as well, so it would be between him and Cedric, but I like AK.
Now, a lot of people would run AK at the backup point guard possibly, but for me, I love AK at the shooting guard. He doesn't really have to do much outside of just be the secondary ball handler and be my best defensive player. So if I'm up against the Ben Simmons, I'd probably put AK on the primary ball handler.
Really? I go Simmons with Simmons.
Just because AK's defensive animations are next to none. I shouldn't say his defensive animations are specifically next to none. Like Kawhi has great defensive animations, Dwayne Wade. But here's the thing for Andre Kirilenko. He's 6'9", 235 pounds and has those defensive animations. So just because of like his length and versatility, I think that's what makes AK a decent step above the other guys. Combine that with his cheesy base 98 release.
Yeah.
And you're looking at, in my opinion,
I'm cool with that. I agree. I agree.
Backup shooting guard is another guy I'm a big fan of.
I agree.
He's definitely a top 2 shooting guard in the game, in my opinion.
You can argue it on both gens.
There's
you really
no
could.
question who goes here. Now,
obviously Bobo.
I do not use Bobo enough on my no money spent squad account when I do play with him. Now, part of the reason is he's a small forward. Obviously, I like his release, so he's gonna knock down wide open shots, and he's just gonna be
Bobo's so good.
I should honestly use Bobo more, and that's one thing that I need to do a better job of. But here's the thing: now that we got Ben Simmons, now that we got AK, now that we got Yao and Taco, it's just hard finding any sort of rhythm with Bobo. It just is, because I mean, he doesn't have point guard eligibility, so he's not gonna bring the ball up the court. And if you're on next gen, I feel like it's a lot easier to use him. But on current gen specifically,
yeah, Bobo's the best on, probably best on next.
I hate to say that, but that's
Bobo is
for me. Obviously, he can do so much more. But for me, that's what he
Yao Taco
does. Now, the power forward position, I'm not going to be a cheese boy that's going to run Yao and Taco together. Now, if I'm on current gen, I'd still probably lean GOAT Kareem.
You could go.
Probably. Just
really?
It comes with all those extra Hall of Famers. Now, it's going to be interesting on current gen just because he does have the Hall of Fame steady. Next gen, he has blinders, and next gen.
Next gen, there's no debate. GOAT Kareem is GOAT Kareem. He's way better. But current is a debate.
Way better, so it's no question that GOAT Kareem is who is a better all-around player between both gens. Next gen wise, the dude's fantastic. I mean, just movement, release, blinders, like there's not anything more you could ask for. Current gen, still, the dude is fantastic. My favorite power forward or player to play at the power forward position in the game right now is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and really what it comes down to more than anything is his defense. His defense is absolutely immaculate, and I'm a big fan of his release as well. So if you combine the defense,
that's fair. I would have the invincible if I was on current GOAT next, but GOAT's fine.
Burst animation, as well as his release. I mean, there's just not much more you could want. It really comes down to the defense, though, for me and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Defensively, one of the best in the game. Not my center position. No surprise here.
Taco instead of Yao.
For a while, I went back and forth on Taco, Yao, who is the better player.
That's a close one.
Yao's better on offense. I'm not going to sit here and disagree with that.
I'm going to say Yao is Taco's so much better than Yao on next gen. It's not even close. For me on next gen, it goes Taco, Simvular are very close to each other. And Yao is nowhere close. It goes... Again, I haven't played enough... For me, on current gen, it's Sim, Taco, Yao, Bradley. But I haven't played enough of them to have like a... With Yao to have like a really big opinion. But that's just preference from a few games that I've played. But on next gen, it is Sim, Taco, 1A, 1B. 3A, 3B, Yao, and Bradley for the Giants.
But defensively, Yao does not get near the blocks, near the animations that Taco Fall does. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that I love defense more than offense. So when it comes down to who I like more between all the 7'5" Giants, I think it's Taco, a gap, Yao, and then another gap. That's what I personally would say. But Taco is just absolutely fantastic. He has the same release. I think it's jump shot 47.
Taco gap, Yao, another gap. Okay, that's fair. He is on current gen. Because on next gen, Sim's way better than Yao.
Joel Embiid. It is just absolutely fantastic. Yes, the lack of hotspots are sometimes a problem, but he's still fantastic. If I was to go into play in like a big tournament for a lot of money today, no doubt he would be my starting center. So this is the starting lineup that I would run with. Obviously, for me, the guys that would play the majority of the game are Bull, and Taco Fall. Those are the two guys that are probably playing at least 15 minutes for me. The rest of the guys, I don't think there's that much of a difference between
Cade off the bench, the one?
Bench unit. Now,
Cade off the bench, the one?
Bench off at the point guard position with two options. If I'm on current gen, I'm going Cade Cunningham. Now, the next guy I'm going to throw at the end of the bench, I'm going to talk about him as at a different position as well, is the GOAT, Bron.
You're on. Honestly, I would have just assumed he was running Space Jam LeBron to 2. But if he's not running Space Jam LeBron, yeah, next gen it's GOAT LeBron. Next gen GOAT. I keep forgetting when I'm like, oh yeah, Hito and Cade. I keep forgetting GOAT LeBron's a thing. No, like I would view Space Jam LeBron just in general, but I will say that GOAT LeBron is the best point guard on next gen. It's not even close. It's close, but he's the best.
Bron, I don't blame you. Or if you're on current gen and still want to use GOAT Bron because he gets better animations and you're not necessarily a 300, I'm fine with that as well. It really depends whether you prefer base.
I'd go Cade and Space Jam Bron though.
And that's really what it comes down to. For me, probably right now, I'm better with Cade Cunningham. But that's not to sit here and say that Cade Cunningham is no question better than LeBron James. I think those...
I can't believe I forgot LeBron James the thing when I was like, oh yeah, I would put in Maxwell. I still like Maxwell, but no, LeBron, Space Jam Bron.
Two are super close when it comes down to it.
Maybe Space Jam Bron the 3.
Cade Cunningham is the guy I plug in. Now, he is super I'm inconsistent with him. I'm not going to say he's inconsistent for me. I'm just inconsistent with base 98 in general. We're going
I
to
love
talk about
98.
another guy like that at the small forward position. It's just the way it is. But running the backcourt with Cade is Kawhi Leonard's invincible card. Between him and Andre Kirilenko, I think the gap between those two are so small.
Okay.
It's just so small. The gap between AK, the gap between Kawhi, it's just so small. So I'd probably play them both half the game. I'm more green with Kawhi Leonard. AK obviously has the cheesier release. Defensively, they're both absolutely fantastic. Kawhi has his own defensive stance. I'm more green with him.
I'll give you Kawhi.
Bit longer.
I would rather Braun, but Kawhi's fine. Kawhi's Braun at the 3.
They're both absolutely fantastic players, and I don't think you can go wrong either way. Not the small forward position. Here's where things get interesting. If I'm on next gen, there is no question about it. I'm plugging in Giannis.
Giannis.
Now, on current gen, I do not green with this Giannis very much. So the cards.
I'm just gonna say, if I'm on next gen, I'm taking Space Jam Braun over that Giannis 10 times out of 10.
I'm looking at for current gen wise are these 3.
Danny Ferry, Danny Ferry's incredible. He has to, Space Jam Braun has to be in with a mention.
Again, base 98. If I was consistent with it, there'd be
Danny Ferry. I love Ferry.
Another guy, the GOAT Braun at small forward, or if you want to plug in the Space Jam Braun, that's fine. But I'd prefer the GOAT Braun even with steady. If we're talking about both gens, obviously,
really,
Braun is another card to consider.
Really,
with the X and base. Now, the last card, hear me out.
I'm surprised because Ty is normally one of like the biggest people that are against steady. He's like one of the most. He was normally one of the most vocal people against steady, and I'm surprised that he takes the steady Braun over the non-steady Braun.
Gen is Thon Maker. Look,
Thon. Oh, he's not going to squad. Thon's good, but I mean, come on, Braun and Ferry are better than Thon. Thon's good though.
I know he's a little bit outdated. I know he's
still brilliant though. Still brilliant.
But he's got base 47. I can green consistency with him, and I'm not sold on the fact that I would not run Thon Maker. But for me, the guy that I probably would run right now in a competitive setting is this guy right here.
I go Space Jam Braun, but
and it's really for his defense more than anything.
If I'm on next gen, actually,
I'm not even gonna sit here and say he's gonna be perfect.
All I'm gonna say is him putting in Space Jam Braun, or sorry, him putting in Kareem and GOAT Braun. I mean, this is a god tier next gen squad. To be honest, this squad might be up there with the best on next gen. Probably on next gen he does better than Cade, in my opinion. I think he's a better shooter. And I would Kawhi's so good on next gen as well. You know what? I'll give you this. Like, if you put in Heat over Cade, this might be the best team on next gen.
Perfect from the 3-point line because I'll probably miss some shots. But defensively, he's going to be absolutely immaculate. All 99, everything.
So what are you going to go, Yao Wiseman, is he?
Every badge in the game, every tendency you could ask for. And that's why I think GOAT Braun at the small forward position is absolutely incredible. Now, if you wanted to run Braun at point guard, Cade at shooting guard, Kawhi at small forward, you could do that as well. You could mix some things up. But GOAT Braun is definitely a guy that I want to add at that small forward position. At the power forward position, for me, I'm going to go with this guy right here.
KP over Wiseman. Okay, I see you.
I didn't think there was a big gap between Kareem, Porzingis, and a guy like Embiid, Mobley, those types of cards. But I think Kareem and Porzingis are up here, and then Embiid's a step below.
I like Mobley. I'd have, again, next gen I'd put, you know what, I say Sim, but Kareem's a god. Or I say Kristaps a god.
My personal opinion at that power forward position. I love Kareem, or I love Kareem, and then I love Porzingis and Bobo. I love Bobo's type base, which is I think the Brook Lopez base, the Karl Malone upper.
Yeah, he's just Bobo, but he plays power forward. He's literally just Bobo, but he plays power forward.
I green a ton of shots. Now, is there a big difference between this Porzingis and the other Porzingis? There's a little difference. For the majority of the community, you guys aren't probably going to notice.
Next gen is
like
almost no difference.
This is the best overall squad possible. So, I mean, I can't make this video and not include Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, well, I assume.
It does not make sense with how good he is. Remember, the dude's 7'3". I still wish we would have got like a shooting guard, small forward, Kristaps Porzingis. That card would have been absolutely fantastic.
Best card in the game. Best card in the game on next gen.
I guess I'll settle for the invincible. All 99, everything KP. Last but not least, at the backup center position, Yao Ming is the guy we are going to.
I can't even argue with this.
Again, a lot of people do like running Yao at that.
Like, it's a weird one where it's like, these guys are all so good. I would rather have other players, but I mean, I can't really argue. Because this team, I can't question any of these points. Because, yeah, I prefer Sim to Porzingis. But you can definitely argue Porzingis is better. I can't argue with any of these picks. This is a perfect team.
Power forward position for me, I just can't. I can't run Yao and Taco together.
So, Danny Green, Danny Green, Udonis Haslem, and I can't even remember who the last guy is off the bench. Where's his championship DNA?
You guys want to make the case that he's better than Taco Fall? That's fine with me. It really is personal preference at that point. So that's who I am going to add. So this is my top 10. If I had 10 players to go out there with, this would be my top 10. Now, if I had to add some more players, like I'm going to add the end of the bench,
Udonis Haslem,
the players
Danny Green,
come to my mind right away. Now, the first player that comes to my mind,
come on, Ty,
is this guy right here. We got to add
Sim has to be there. Good.
Badged out Simbular
Good.
To the squad.
I like it.
Here's the thing. After Yao, after Taco, we need another center that I can trust. And Simbular is that guy. I think he's a guy that I can plug in there that I don't feel like I lose a lot between Taco and Yao and Sim. I don't think I lose much.
I agree.
The second guy is Danny Ferry.
Danny Ferry.
Let's go. Mentioned before, base 98 at the small forward position.
This literally might be, with Sim and Ferry in there, this literally might be my 13 of my top players. The only guys that I could really argue, these two guys here. I mean, you put Hito in, but I mean, he's not going to put in Hito. But even if you have Cade over Hito, that's fair enough. Hito's literally the only player in the game that I would run over these guys. Maybe there's no point on Wiseman. Point guard end of the bench. Maybe Hito? Maybe he goes for Hito?
If I wasn't so, like, I don't want to call myself a head case, but if I was not a head case with Danny Ferry, I would be fine. I would be absolutely fine running the card. And it's just the way it is. I'm just a head case with base 98 with Danny Ferry. When something doesn't go right, it just gets in my head rent-free. Now, the third guy I'm going to add might come as a surprise to you guys. It's going to be Giannis on it.
I'm fine with that.
But it's going to be the point guard Giannis. And
I'm fine with that.
Why. If I'm on defense.
I always say this, point guard Giannis fits into a lot more teams than the other Giannis. That's what I always say. That's why in my top 100 list, which is probably coming out tomorrow, point guard Giannis is going to be higher than Invincible Giannis.
And
he fits into more teams.
Stop. The guy I want at my point guard position is Giannis Antetokounmpo if I'm on current gen. I want him, his defense.
You can maybe argue Giannis too.
If I do need to stop. And so if I'm playing for the most amount of money possible, I want him on my squad. Again, or if Cade Cunningham goes cold, Giannis is a guy I can throw in there and trust, 5 outing with whatever, being that primary ball handler with. He's actually a card that I ran for quite a while. It was him and Ben Simmons.
He's great. Giannis is great.
Wow. On my, I don't want to call my all money spending account, but on my
Cade just got 98.
Xbox account, Giannis and Ben Simmons, the other Ben, were my point guards for a long time. So if I was to play in the $250,000 My Team tournament today, these are the top 13 cards that I would be using. Again, this is just my personal list. If you guys have somebody that I left off this list, leave it down below in the comments because I'm sure there's going to be...
Literally, you put in Hito Turkoglu for this Giannis. And that would be my top 13. This is perfect. Perfect, Ty. Absolutely perfect. That's all I can say. An absolutely perfect team. I can't argue anything. I really cannot argue anything. So anyway, that's the video. Check out Ty's channel in the first thing in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.